Yo, my fellow kids, it's Buster. Today I'll be showing you guys some Dean stories. Hope you guys enjoy. Subscribers, how are you doing? You're my girlfriend! Alright, cut the camera. Alright, so let's go ahead and before we get into this these fabulous pair of stories, I just wanted to say if you guys wanted to know what game this is a game called Paladin. So it's basically like a free version of Overwatch. So yeah, if you guys really need an Overwatch type gameplay, just download Paladins because that's the closest thing you're gonna get. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. So deans deans in my neighborhood. There's one specific dean in my neighborhood that really gets in the nerves of me, Brian, and Jackson, or J Figo, as you guys know him. Um, he's really odd and weird. Um, One compliment I could give him is that he's really strong. I'm not strong. He's kind of weak. He's really smart. So gotta give him credit for that. But other than that, he really lacks of being in a modern culture. So yeah, um, we one let's get into the stories. So one day we were just outside, hanging with the homies, and me, Brian, Jackson, and of course the dean, the son of a dean, is there. We're just hanging out, just riding our bikes. Then after, I guess we were like playing soccer or something. And then after, he lost, and then after, it was his curfew to go back home and check in. And then after he was like, no, I'm not gonna go check in. And then after, we were like, dude, go check in, you're gonna get in trouble. And like, we're trying to tell him to do the right thing. He's like, no, I'm not gonna go. And then after, this lady, like grandma or something, came with like her grandchild or something, or like their mother and daughter, something like that. They're related. All I could say. It was like this little 5-year-old girl, maybe 6 or somewhere around there. And then after, he just turned to like, don't play with them. And after, me, like, she had like a face like, what? And then after, and me, Brian, and Jackson were all like, what? Wait, what do you, what? Why are you telling that to her? We didn't do anything bad. And then the grandma or mom was like, wait, what are you talking about? And then after we explained to her how he's not going to his house to check in when it's the right thing to do, when his mom said, because it was like 4 or 5 or somewhere around there. Um, and then after, um, Dean was staying quiet there. Like, I think he wanted to say something, but he knew he couldn't say anything because that was the truth. So then after, the grandma or mom gave us like a whole lecture of saying how like you should like respect each other and like be nice to each other, something good about like that. And then I guess the grandma or mom made Dean go check in, and I think he had to go back inside. So it was a win-win for me, Brian, and Jackson, because since we could play soccer without no raging, because Fortnite and real life is a totally different place, because like nobody rages in real life. So that was the first story. Now we move on to the second story, and this story is gonna be this one. I wasn't there. It's not a story of mine. It was a story of Jackson's that happened to him. So, yeah, this one goes for Jackson. So one time he was just, it was like 12 after lunch, something like that. And then after, um, usually he knocks in Jackson's door first. So he went at Jackson's door, and then after he opened, and then after, Jackson was like, and to his sister, hey, if it's Dean, tell him I don't want to play. And then after, his sister was like, oh, all right. And then after, his sister just opened the door, like, hi Dean. And then after Jackson was like, um, Jackson was like, don't, and like giving that signal, like don't say it. No, no, don't let him come in. And then after you're like, yeah, is Jackson home? They're like, yeah, but he doesn't really want to play with anyone right now. And then after and then after Jackson, I'm not Jackson, Dean was like, yeah, he does. And then after he poked his head through like his sister's arm or something like that, like beneath the sister's arm, like, Jackson. And then after, Jackson, come play outside. And then after, he just his sister just like pushes his head back. And then after um he was like, Jackson, and I think Jackson's sister said something like, Jackson's sick, he doesn't feel too well. And then Jackson told me, he was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then after I think he pushed his sister and barged inside and was like, Jackson, come play outside with me, you need to play outside with me. And then after, Jackson was like, Dean, get out of my house. And then he really, for some reason, likes playing with us. I don't think he really has friends around the street, but I think he has a couple friends from school, surprisingly. But like, still, and then after, usually he knock in my door after, if Jackson's there. But then it really it 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 really bugs me that every time, I clearly told him, if he's gonna play, make sure to check with Jackson if he's okay, because I'm not gonna play with you unless Jackson's here, because come on, he makes everything entertaining somehow. And then after, he keeps on like doing that, and he kept on just knocking on the door, and he's like, oh, it's Jackson. I'm like, oh, is Jackson here? And he's like, oh, yeah, his mom's car is here, but I haven't knocked on the door yet. I was like, oh my god. And then after, that was one of those stories. And Jackson's really grateful for his sister. More of that story. So then now we move on to where the thumbnail comes in. So one day, I think my parents weren't home, I don't think so. And then after it was like 12 or 3, something like that. No, it was 12. No, it was 12. No, it was 12. And then after, Dean just knocks on the door. I was like, come on, it's no. And then after, it's like 12. I just ate. I'm not gonna play with you yet. And then after, knocks on the door with the full on luggage. Like he was acting like he was gonna sleep over for like 7 days. And then after, he just says, my parents went somewhere, so I'm gonna have to stay here till 6. And I was like, there's no way you're gonna stay here for 6 hours. And then after, and then he has like a full binder with like a whole sheet of paper. And then after, he has like his like clarinet or whatever, his recorder, his flute. He has his flute right there. He mainly throws us a concert trying to play Bohemian Rhapsody and Ode to Joy. And yeah, it was really bad. He actually ended up staying in our house for 6 hours. Like, someone saved me. And then after, I got so bored of him that I don't, usually, you if you guys know me, I really don't take naps. Like, I really just like doing stuff. Like, I don't take naps. Those are boring. Well, sometimes they're not, but I don't do them voluntarily, let's just say. And then after, it was one of the only times I went to my room and took a nap. And then after and then after Dean was stuck in my playroom where I am right now, he's over here watching like the Captain Underpants movie on Netflix or something. And then after, he's playing like in my iPad. I have like 5 Nights at Freddy's. Like, I'm about to get night 6 for I could get custom nights. And then after, he's over here starting a new game and then starts me all over. And that's why I never look at him the same ever again. You know him, and messing up everything. And yeah, he gave us a little concert. We had to play Mario Kart together. He doesn't have his Switch anymore for some reasons. I don't know why, but still. And he always does it. He always gets like a mail, like an envelope and like make it like seem as a big tournament. And he like one time he put it in our mailbox and he just said, "Dear Richard and Brian," and he gave one to Jackson too. "Dear Richard and Brian Jackson, I am going to I'm going to host a I am going to host a Mario Kart tournament at Richard and Brian's front yard." And then after I was like, what? And then after we're like, "No, we're not gonna do a Mario Kart tournament unless there's some type of prize." Which, I mean, the prize was like this balloon thing, water balloon that he had. I was like, I mean, it's cool. Like, it was one of those things you buy from dollar store that, like, it was an unpoppable balloon. And then when we went inside, we were playing catch with it, and then after it popped, I was like, "Oh yeah, so I don't think we're gonna do that anymore." And then after, and and Dean, just in general, he always invites himself to places. Like, one time he invited himself, like, okay, now, okay, this isn't just one time. He always does this. He always invites himself to play with me, Brian, and Jackson. So, we're just outside, and then after, Dean over here in his window, open his window, and then he pulls out a microphone, and then he yells like with a megaphone. He's like, "Jackson, knock in my door for my mom can let me play with you guys." And like, he always makes us knock in his door for he could, because I guess his mom doesn't allow him to go outside. His mom doesn't really allow him to do anything, really. And then after, he was like, "Jackson, tell my mom," that. And usually when he does, he just invites himself. Like, we're just making a TikTok. You know me. Go. I'm plugging my TikTok right now. Him. We're just making TikTok, and then after, he comes over here with his freaking 2007 blue fake Air Force Jordans over here, and then after, he's like, he just like runs over here with his freaking scooter, like $2 scooter he got from like TJ Maxx or something, and then after, he's over here being like, so what are we gonna play? After, like, we didn't invite you, and it's like this dumb. And
like, he invites himself to eat with us. Tell him that.
Oh yeah. So he hadn't done this in a long time, but when we first became friends with him, he invited himself in to eat. Like, one time, we were just like, Ja was like, "Oh, Jackson, I have to eat, and I'll hang out with you after." And then after, I guess we got like Pizza Hut or something. And then after, Dean over here being like, "Oh, I think I could eat with you guys. Let me just go ask my mom." And then after, my sister had a confused face. And then after, I think my mom didn't really want to argue, so she was like, "Jackson, do you want to eat with us?" And Jackson was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I miss the OG times when we used to take Jackson to McDonald's, the OG times. So yeah, more of the story: never trust Deans, and he's done very inappropriate stuff too. I would have to save it for a next video, but yeah, I'll tell you guys one more story. One time, it was like my sister was having like a birthday party, like a 70s thingy, and then after, he set the home screen of it's something very inappropriate for my brother's iPad. So yeah, more of the story: never trust deans, even though they are your friends, because come on, it's a dean. So without further ado, that's gonna be the very, very, very end of this classic dean video. So yeah, peace out. Have a lovely day, and yeah, make sure to use code ALIA in the item shop. Now, peace out.